Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Happy New Comic Book Day, October 4th, 2023. Hope all you guys found all your books in your cubby, on the new comic book shop wall, or mailed to you. However you guys get your comics, I hope you guys got all the comics you were looking for this week. I know I did under the loud and mysterious black bag. Before we get dived into that, do want to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe, spread the love, share me out in the YouTube space, and click the link below. Come hang out with us on Instagram. All right, let's get dived into the loud, mysterious black bag. Now I got a top 5 this week. I read the books already, so I'll kind of talk a little bit about them. Spoiler light. And so first up, we got Immortal XMen number 16. Super cool apocalypse cover right there, and it's kind of like Sphinx setup. Now, this issue, I have it in the number 5 spot, so it was okay. I don't know what to say. Like, maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of Gillen. I really like the setup and the idea of these mutants trapped in this alternate realm. I kind of felt like we rushed through some of the story there in that realm, and we find out Apocalypse is there. You know, not really a spoiler. He's on the cover. And it was interesting, but like I said, I felt it was a little bit rushed. We got there. It was okay. I have it in the number 5 spot. Super cool cover, though. In the number 4 spot, we have X-Force 45. And this was actually a pretty fun issue. I'd put this on more of the recommend side of things. We had Colossus, who's kind of being written by this mutant who has these powers of writing, and he's under the control of Rasputin, who's Colossus's brother. And I won't spoil anything of what happens, but the lead up to this is basically just that the writer that Rasputin has been using to write Colossus, he's kind of like done writing Colossus. He wants him to be done writing Colossus and write this other person who he feels like will be able to have some more effect on you know what I'm saying, on him getting more power, more powerful. And that's kind of where we leave that. And there's some interesting ramifications for Colossus that I won't spoil here, but it was pretty good. It was a pretty fun read. Especially, I'd definitely recommend it if you're a big Colossus fan. And then next up, I had X-Men 27 with this super cool cover of Cyclops, just like his eyes are sewed shut. And this actually does happen in the issue too. It's pretty brutal what's been going on with Cyclops. And as usual, I you know, X-Men's just a really fun read. The story by Duggan has been a blast. Having a lot of fun with it. I think all the X books we actually had new artists, or just artists like doing an issue or two while the main artist takes a break. And I really thought they all three did a really good job. The art on all 3 issues was up to par, was super clean, and actually in a way kind of maybe lended itself to more of a storytelling approach with some of the 3 issues we had here. And I feel like that's a good turn for X-Men. It was the scene transitions and the way things were. It was a bit easier to follow and quicker. I didn't have to do too much kind of thinking and like squinting. Even though some of the art may be really beautiful sometimes when you go elaborate. Sometimes just a you know, small amount of details with strong character definition works really well. So that's what I thought. It was a really fun issue. I don't want to spoil too much of what's going on outside of that. You know, that scene does happen. We have Shadowcat, and that's kind of who we're following through most of the issue. And she's, you know, continues to be a pretty cool character right now. And yeah, I don't know. It was just it's a lot of fun. In the number 2 spot, I have my lone DC book, Batman 138, continuing this Chip Zdarsky run, and it is just knocking it out of the park. The artwork in this issue was amazing. Really, like, it was a hard choice for the number one slot this week, because this issue has a ton of action, and we see some of our favorite heroes fighting each other for reasons that I don't fully want to go into, but they're super fun and well thought out. And Batman, as I've been saying, he's kind of a little bit losing it with this Zur-En-Arrh personality, and he's taking it out aggressively, let's say. And he does something to one of the Bat family members in this issue that kind of surprises the rest of the Bat family, and sort of makes them band together, if you will, against good old Batman. And so they're all with concern, though. And so, you know, I feel like we're kind of nearing the end of this Zur-En-Arrh story arc, because things are really ramping up to epic proportions in this issue. And I feel like a payoff has to be coming soon at some point. So if you know, if that doesn't interest you, I don't know what will, if you're a Batman fan. But yeah, it's super fun. Gotta give it a high recommend. And in the number one recommend spot, and my number one book this week was Red Goblin #9. What can I say? This just feels like, not only does it have an awesome cover too, but it just feels like kind of classic Marvel 90s, from when I was a youth, storytelling. We have this young normie character who has a pretty tragic history, and he's a flawed young man, and he's bonded with this very, very young symbiote who's almost... I made this reference to my son, and I feel like this is the best way to kind of explain the relationship that Normie and Rascal have to somebody who hasn't been reading the book. But it gives me T2 vibes of the relationship that we had in Terminator 2, of, you know, John Connor, the young John Connor, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator, where, you know, you kind of have this younger character who's flawed, and his mom, you know, isn't around. She's in a crazy asylum, and just like this character, you know, he doesn't have a mom in a crazy asylum, but his dad's dead, and his grandfather is the Green Goblin, right? So he you know, they both come from these tragic histories and are flawed young men. Yet still, even though being flawed young men, they know the difference between right and wrong. And then when they meet up with these good intentioned creatures, or you know, robots, who are good intentioned and want to do right, but just don't know all the rules and all the in and outs of what it takes to do the right thing, and what's right and what's wrong, you know. And so they're kind of striking that relationship right now, and I'm just having a blast with it. It's a totally fun story. I don't know what else to say on it, but yeah, it's fun. If that sounds fun, give Red Goblin a try. That's what I have this week, guys. As always, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you watch this far, give you much love. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys the next time. And have a great day, okay?